Hi there. Now we're going to do lesson 122. Forgiveness offers everything I want. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Think about that. What would you want that forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness? A quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed? A gentleness that can never be hurt? A deep, abiding comfort and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? It just touches me because that's what I feel. I feel that quietness. I feel that sense of worth and inner beauty that transcends the world because I know I'm not of this world. I feel so cared for. I feel safe. I feel warm and protected always. I don't doubt for my safety. The quietness in my mind is so amazing that a couple of thoughts that come in, the slightest little judgment, it's so glaringly obvious that it just cannot disturb my mind. It doesn't take me very long to see, I don't want to believe something that's not true. It doesn't take me long to say, Father, what would you have me do instead of this? It doesn't take me long to remember that I am the light of the world, and if I do not judge somebody, I will experience the peace that passes all understanding. My mind does not get upset. I don't get upset. Upset arises, but I don't have to react with it. It doesn't pull me into action because I can in here allow that energy to dissipate and let it go. Talk about resting in such a perfect knowingness that nothing anybody thinks about me matters. It really doesn't. The only thing that matters is what God thinks about me. Paragraph 2, all this forgiveness offers you and more. Really, there is more to this list. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. I can attest for that. I wake up so happy every day. I'm just so happy to be here, to be the one who gets to experience life from the perspective that God wants to see life through me in that moment. God, what would you have me do? What would you have me eat for breakfast? What would you have me wear? Where do you want me to go? Who do I get to meet today? Who do I get to wave at in traffic today? And let them know that they are the beloved child of yours. So, because they're my brothers and sisters. That kind of knowingness is priceless, priceless. I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. And this is what forgiveness gives us. Sentence number 3, it soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids so you see no dreams of fear and evil, malice and attack. I don't see anything fearful in my dreams when I sleep at night or in my waking dreams because it's not how I see the world anymore, because I look at the world through the eyes of Source, because forgiveness has given me that. Sentence number 4, and when you wake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you and more. Abiding happiness, when you're not upset with the world, happiness is what you are. That's it. There's nothing else. So now we're going to go to paragraph 3. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. It lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all dead thoughts. That's repetitive thoughts. Anything that's been repeating is dead. It has no life to it. It's a Xerox copy. There's nothing fresh, nothing new about it. It's not alive with God because it's been deadened by your mind making it a thought that is destructive, that is painful, that is hurtful, that causes suffering. Let me read that again. So it lets you recognize the Son of God in everyone you see and in yourself, and clears your memory of all dead thoughts so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. If you're not thinking about the past, in the present moment, your mind is quiet. You now can have God inspire you. That intuition, that inspiration now begins to move you. What would you want forgiveness cannot give? What gifts but these are worthy to be sought? What fancied value, trivial effect, or transient promise, never to be kept, can hold more hope than what forgiveness brings? So the ego gives us all kinds of trivial promises, and it never, never keeps the promise. You know, that new pair of shoes that was going to make you look so hot, and then you gain 5 pounds. You don't feel so hot. Those shoes didn't give it to you. You couldn't get eternal happiness from that. That new car that was going to have everybody look at you and see how successful you are. Did you feel successful when you were at the shop because the car broke down and you didn't have enough money in your account because you spent it on shoes or you spent it on something else? Chasing that next high, the next feel-good thing. I know. I've been there. I used to shop so that people would see how together I was and give me compliments. I used to need the bigger house so that people could see, oh, she's arrived. All those things that we keep chasing. I needed to have something outside of me make me feel good about myself, but it was always a carrot on a string, a string that you can never reach because it's on a pole in front of your forehead, so you can never reach it. It's out there. But the world makes it seem like it's so attainable, and then you get it, and it doesn't take long for the luster to wear off because the ego does not want you to be happy. It is the block to happiness because in the chase, then you're listening to the ego. But when you sit still and there's nothing to chase and you forgive yourself for the chase and you forgive the world for what you thought it had was supposed to promise you, you rest in abiding peace. That's where happiness is. But it's a very simple happiness. It's a very simple peace that doesn't need anything. And we're not used to that. So we got to get our mind used to that powerful, simple peace that God promises. But it can only be found in here. And forgiveness is what brings it. Paragraph 4. Why would you seek an answer other than the answer that will answer everything? Here is the perfect answer. Giving to imperfect questions, meaningless requests, half-hearted willingness to hear, and less than halfway diligence and partial trust. How many of us have been asking imperfect questions? Imperfect questions mean, why is this not working out for me? When you should be saying, why am I not making it happen for myself? Why am I not cleaning my mind? Why didn't so-and-so, come over and do what they were supposed to do? Why did so-and-so talk back to me? Why did you talk back to them? Why are you thinking so-and-so shouldn't talk back to you? Why are you thinking so-and-so should have done what they said they should do? Why are you in that space of judgment? Why are you not in tranquility about what is happening? Why did the boss give me that extra work? That's a half-hearted question. It's a meaningless question in many ways. It happened. How are you responding? That's what matters. And the diligence. Are you really diligent to think only with God? Is that your commitment 24/7? That every moment that you are thinking a thought about somebody else, are you thinking it with God? Are you seeing them as a child of God? Are you seeing them as beautiful, benevolent children that are just as innocent as you are, stuck in an illusion as you were stuck in an illusion the minute you judged them? Are we doing that? Clearly, we have partial trust. If you think that your safety comes from your paycheck, if you think that it comes from your lover, if you think that your parents should do things for you to be okay, if you're believing something outside of you should take care of you or your ego mind inside of you, then you have partial trust. You don't trust that you are inside the mind of God. You have power of the mind of God. Are you using it to create what you want to experience? Are you using it to project the life you really want? Or are you looking at the life that is out there saying, I don't want that, I wish that was different? Because you cannot be projecting what you want if your attention and focus is out here on what you don't want. Because the what I don't want out here is a block to the what do I really want? God, what would you have me do? That information cannot flow from the outside, from the inside, if you're blocking it with the outside. Attention to the outside. Sentence 3. Here is the answer in forgiveness. Seek for it no more. You will not find another one instead. Paragraph 5. God's plan for your salvation cannot change, nor can it fail. Be thankful it remains exactly as He planned it. Changelessly, it stands before you like an open door, with warmth and welcome, calling from beyond the doorway, bidding you to enter in and make yourself at home where you belong. We need to go inside of our mind, make a commitment to understand that everything that I think about the world, or that the world thinks about me, is either coming from the ego. Well, what people think about me is not coming from God. What people feel, if you have an experience of somebody who is looking at you as the innocent Christ consciousness that you are, they're feeling you. They're not thinking about you. Thoughts are judgments. Thoughts are opinions. Thoughts are perception. Feeling is of God. Feeling is something that moves us. It's uncaused by you. You don't cause yourself to enjoy a sunset. You don't look at the sun and go, "Oh, I'm going to feel ecstasy in a second." Oh, there's ecstasy. We don't do that. What is uncaused? What is you fall in love with somebody? You don't cause that. You admire something you blessed. You don't cause that. It just comes from inside of you. So we've got to make room to come inside and connect with that causeless, powerful essence that is inside of us that wants to express itself, but it can only happen through forgiveness. Paragraph 6. Here is the answer. Would you stand outside while all of heaven waits for you within? See, that heaven is a decision that we make to connect with God inside. Forgive and be forgiven. As you give, you will receive. There is no plan but this for the salvation of the Son of God. Let us today rejoice that this is so, for here we have an answer, clear and plain, beyond deceit in its simplicity. All the complexities the world has spun of fragile cobwebs disappear before the power and the majesty of this extremely simple statement of truth. Here is the answer. Do not turn away in aimless wandering again. Accept salvation now. It is the gift of God and not the world. See, the world cannot give us anything. It doesn't have it to give us because we have projected the world that we see. The world can give no gifts of any value to a mind that has received what God has given as its own. God wills salvation be received today, and that the intricacies of your dreams no longer hide their nothingness from you. All that busyness out in the world, all the bills that we have to pay, the tax date, the attorney fees, the gotta go get your tag for your car, you gotta renew your permit for whatever it is, your driver's license, all of these things. You gotta call the lawn service, you gotta call the maintenance service, you gotta get your air conditioning service, you gotta go take the car for the regular oil change, you gotta go, you're a woman for your mammogram once a year, you gotta go for your wellness checkup. All these things that we have been conditioned to believe that we're supposed to constantly be doing are nothing more than distractions, intricate distractions made like cobwebs, fragile cobwebs that if you decide to unplug from the matrix, those things fall down because they really won't affect who you are once you realize that what you are is the magnificent being who is the one and only child of the Creator. Paragraph 8. Open your eyes today and look upon a happy world of safety and peace. Forgiveness is the means by which it comes to take the place of hell. In quietness, it rises up to greet your open eyes and fill your heart with deep tranquility as ancient truths, forever newly born, arise in your awareness. Ancient truths, a truth that has been true always. Buddha taught about it, Jesus taught about it, lots of other sages and prophets have taught about these truths. However, They are the same truth, newly born, because it's God speaking its truth through us. It's the truth that passes all understanding. It's a peace that passes all understanding. So we've got to become aware that there's something inside of us telling us the same thing it's been saying forever, but it feels fresh and new because we're dealing with what is in a new way other than the old way of the ego. That's based on the past and it's based on repetition. Sentence number 4 in paragraph 8. What you will remember then can never be described. It's impossible for me to give you an accurate description of what it feels like to be so aligned with Source inside of me. Yet your forgiveness offers it to you. The minute I forgive myself for having forgotten to think with God and I got sidetracked to thinking with the ego, I made a half-hearted attempt at my spiritual practice today. I blame, I judge, whatever happens to be going on in this mind of mine that is powerful, the minute that I catch that it is blocking the truth of God, I just forgive myself. It's so simple. I forgive myself for having forgotten I had another choice. And the minute I do that, it's so gentle. There's nobody to blame. When somebody says something that I know is coming from their ego, I go, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They really don't know. When we're operating from our ego, we're in a trance. That's why we need to transcend it so that we can move beyond it. Paragraph 9. Remembering the gifts forgiveness gives, we undertake our practicing today with hope and faith that this will be the day salvation will be ours. I have hope and faith every single time I use forgiveness, boom, it works. But I have committed wholeheartedly. This has been a 15-year journey. It's taken me a good 12 years of that journey. It's really in the last 3-4 years because of what I've been studying with A Course in Miracles, which has been for about 6 years now. It took me 2 years of studying the Course diligently before I began to really feel the shift that forgiveness brings. And then for the last 4 years, practicing it without ceasing. Why? Because I won't do that to myself anymore. I love myself too much to allow any kind of fear, any kind of suffering in my mind now. Sentence number 2, earnestly and gladly will we seek for it today, aware we hold the key within our hands, accepting heaven's answer to the hell we made, but where we would remain no more. See, once I realized that every time I chose heaven, every time I chose love, every time I chose forgiveness, it freed me. Immediately I felt a sigh of relief. Well, I decided that that's what I wanted to feel more than the sigh of excitement from a compliment or the high of, oh, look at what I've achieved from anything outside of myself. When I made that commitment and I began to feel that over and over and over again, it was clear I was not going to give that up. Absolutely no way, because I knew that my salvation came to me instantaneously by my choosing it. Paragraph 10. Morning and evening do we gladly give a quarter of an hour to the search in which the end of hell is guaranteed end to suffering. Isn't that exciting? 15 minutes. Begin in hopefulness. Yeah, you got to know that it's coming. You got to fake it till you make it. Yes, I know that it is coming and it's going to be mine. For we have reached the turning point at which the road becomes far easier. This is where it gets easy. The fun and the ease happens after the forgiveness is something that you count on. And know the way is short, that yet we travel. It's short, it's instantaneous. The minute you make forgiveness your go-to default way of perceiving the world, it not only is it easy, it's very simple. We're being told exactly what to do. It's fast. It happens immediately. We are close indeed to the appointed ending of the dream of illusion, the dream of suffering. Paragraph 11. Sink into happiness as you begin these practice periods, for they hold out the sure rewards of questions answered and what your acceptance of the answer brings. You accept the answer. The question's answered. Why are we suffering? Because we're blocking ourselves. So how do we stop suffering? Great question, great answer. Offer forgiveness. Forgive yourself, forgive others. And then accept the answer. Once you feel the peace that forgiveness brings, say, I want more of this peace. And then make forgiveness the thing that you are going to do no matter what. Today, it will be given you to feel the peace forgiveness offers and the joy the lifting of the veil holds out to you. You cannot feel that joy inside if you are judging. I don't care who it is, especially if you're judging from your spiritualized ego. If you think you know more about everybody else's practice, if you think you're more advanced than somebody else and you're pointing out what they're not doing well, you're not there, because love doesn't see those things. Love only sees the person who's trying their best. Love only sees somebody who is being compassionate and caring. Love sees somebody who needs our love, but not because it's judging them as less or better or whatever. It's just simply an acknowledgement that one needs my love. There is no judgment in the awareness that it's a call for love. Paragraph 12. Before the light you will receive today, the world will fade until it disappears. So you're going to receive, you stop blocking love, and now a light, the light of God in you is going to begin to shine forward. You're going to begin to see the world through the eyes of Source. The third eye is going to happen. You're going to see the magnificence. You're going to see light in other people. You're going to begin to sense the truth of who we are. And you will see another world arise you have not words to picture. It really becomes an absolutely beautiful place. You don't see the garbage pile. You see, potential for things that are going to get recycled, potential things that are somebody's going to create something beautiful from it. You don't see a car accident and go, that's terrible. You will see it as, wow, somebody has an opportunity to express love. Somebody's going to go to meet a doctor that is going to love on them, that is going to care for them. Somebody's going to go meet a nurse that is passionate about the work that they do. All of a sudden, things begin to shift. You see them as beautiful, amazing moments that are calls for love, that are expressions of love. You see only what is absolutely beautiful in every moment. Why? Because your eyes are looking with God. That's what forgiveness brings. That's why you're not afraid of anything, because you connect, you feel that peace of God inside of you. You know you're inside of God. And if you get killed, if you get cancer and die, if you get fired, your beloved leaves you, you're like, okay, how can I bring love to this experience? It is what has happened. Why? Because God knew I would bring love to it. I wasn't going to resist it. I was going to be the presence of there is another way. And look at me. That is the way. When they look at me, they don't see Laina, they see compassion. They don't see Laina's new outfit, they see a kind person, somebody who wasn't beating them up. When they look at me, they don't see that I've got brown hair. They see that I was in that moment peaceful. That's what others begin to see, because you're not doing it for them to see that. You're doing them for them to feel your love. Feel the love of God. We want others to be saved in our presence, to be saved from our judgments, because that lets them feel that they're worthy. And our worthiness comes from our desire, our commitment to forgive ourselves so that we can feel all of these things that we deserve to feel. Why? Because we were created to experience them. That's our worth. Our worth comes from acknowledging that we are the one and only child of God. And then we see everything else as love or a call for love, period. Now we talk directly into light, and we receive the gifts that have been held in store for us since time began, kept waiting for today. Let me read that again. That's sentence number 2 in paragraph 12. Now, in this moment, we walk directly into light. We make the commitment, that is all I want to see. And we receive the gifts that have been held in store for us. See, all that we've wanted, it's like it's been an escrow waiting in this beautiful bank account, waiting for us to come and get it. Our love, our joy, our peace came with us. We're not getting anything out of us that we weren't born with. So it's been there waiting for us, held in store for us since time began, kept waiting for today. When we make that decision that forgiveness is the only thing that we're going to practice so that we can be saved, because you know that it works, because you try it, you feel the efficacy of it, you will not want to not do that. It's been waiting there for us to use it, but once you pull it out, oh my gosh, everything changes. Everything changes. Paragraph 13. Forgiveness offers everything you want. Today, all things you want are given you. The peace, the love, the joy, the happiness, the safety, it's all there, waiting. It's never gone anywhere. but we got trained to look outside of ourselves. Let not your gifts recede throughout the day as you return again to meet a world of shifting change and bleak appearances. So those gifts, don't pretend that they're not there now that you know they are. But the world is going to distract you. The traffic, the phone call, the whatever, the weather is going to distract you if you don't stay mindful and say, no, I'm going to stay here where the treasures are. I'm not going to go out there looking for anything outside of myself and suffer. I'm going to stay where the treasures are. Retain your gifts in clear awareness as you see the changeless in the heart of change, the light of truth behind appearances. Retain your gifts in clear awareness. That means you've got to be aware of where your truth is. You've got to be aware that peace is just a decision away, that your happiness, your joy was given to you, but you block it with judgments. This is what you need to be completely aware of because it's yours. You either feel it, you accept it, or you block it. That's it. As you see the changeless in the heart of change, you look for God inside everything that appears to be changing. The traffic is changing, the weather is changing, the people in front of you are changing. Look for what doesn't change in them. That's the essence of God in them. How do you focus on that? Love them. Judgment comes up, forgive the judgment, go right back to loving them. That is my brother and sister, whom God created as perfect as they created me. You look for it, the light of truth behind appearances. You got to look for the light because it's covered up by somebody pretending to be hurt, somebody pretending to be dying, somebody pretending to been fired, somebody pretending to be weak, somebody pretending to be needy, somebody pretending to be a bully, pretending to be a victim. Those masks are covering up the light that is in them. Our job is to see the light in them, because when we focus on their light, now we are not distracted. Now we are present to what is happening. We feel the peace inside of us, so then therefore we bring the peace with us because we are that vessel of peace. Paragraph 14. Be tempted not to let your gifts slip by and drift into forgetfulness. Don't forget that they're there. You may not want to access them, but then acknowledge to yourself, oh, the suffering, I did it because I decided to forget that I have all that inside of me. But hold them firmly in your mind. You got to think about this. You got to actively, deliberately choose that. That's where you focus your attention. By your attempts to think of them at least a minute as each quarter of an hour passes by, for 1 minute throughout the day, every half hour, say, my peace is in me. The truth is in me. Forgiveness is what frees me. Forgiveness is what frees everybody. If I choose love, I will not experience fear. If I choose to be the presence of love, I will see everything totally fresh and brand new. I will bring peace to the world if I choose to do that. Remind yourself how precious are these gifts with this reminder, which has power to hold your gifts in your awareness throughout the day. This is a simple reminder. It has the power to keep you totally, completely focused on the truth, but you got to use it. You got to use it. Here goes. Forgiveness offers everything I want. Today, I have accepted this as true. Today, I have received the gifts of God. Because the minute that you acknowledge forgiveness is the only thing that's going to give you what you want, the only thing that will return your mind, your heart, into alignment with the truth of who you are, so that you can feel the presence of God in you. And who doesn't want to feel the Creator in us? The Creator creates everything. Can you imagine when you're aligned with the Creator that creates everything, what your life is going to get created to be? Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. Today I have accepted this as true. You got to make the decision that it is true and that it is there, even if you're in the process of connecting to it. Even if you say to yourself, I don't fully believe it, but I know it's in there. I know it's true. Let me work my way towards it. Let me do the exercises so I can train my mind to think with God. Today I have received the gifts of God. Why? Because it's true. They're there. You're just remembering to go and use them. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.